Hello everyone on the Olga Land channel. Right now we are heading to the ancient city of Ephesus. This is the library. We have beautiful fountains. After Christ's death, his parents moved here. Not everyone notices this path. His triumphant entry signifies that some kind of divine light. Olga Land, yachts, transfers, excursions, group and individual. Everything you were looking for in Turkey, subscribe. The museum here costs at least 40 euros. A price of 65 euros will provide entry to several museums all at the same time. Look out, an iceberg. There are museum cards, but those are for residents of Turkey. If you want from Kusadasi, from Didim, and if you want to get here from the nearest place in Bodrum by private transfer, please feel free to contact me. Our company can provide that for you. And of course, from the airport to the hotel as well. Ephesus is also widely renowned because following the death of Jesus Christ, his mother, the Virgin Mary, is said to have moved to this very location. And because of this significant historical event, there was a very good reason for its continued importance here. To tell people about this faith, about orthodoxy, and accordingly to introduce this religion into world history. And to preach, so to speak. The most effective and strategically convenient method to disseminate teachings and broaden the existing religious boundaries was found to be specifically to preach within large, bustling cities, where people gathered together and participated in massive numbers. And accordingly, in this way, this faith spread very well throughout the entire Roman Empire. Greetings to everyone on the Olga Land channel. Today we are walking around Ephesus. We are starting from the very top point of this historic site and will be making our way down. Actually, everything usually happens the other way around, but I decided to walk through first and take a look so I could tell you in more detail where and how it's best to stop. What do I want to say right away? Right away, I want to mention the audio guide. Definitely get one and listen to it. It costs around 365 lira, but it's worth it if you're walking around without a guide. It comes with headphones, but since my parents and I have traveled together more than once, we just take out the headphones, turn on the speaker, and all three of us listen together comfortably. So it's not necessary for every tourist to get their own audio guide, just a little life hack. Feel free to use it. I'm filming this for myself. At the very beginning, the path goes uphill, so on the way back, it's a bit unpleasant to climb, or rather to go back down. From this point of view, you'll see for yourself whether it's worth going all the way to the top, especially for those who might find it difficult. So at the very top, we have, first of all, a theater. Here is a historical building. There used to be several fountains here. We'll get to them in a moment. And in general, the upper part is less urban and more the private sphere, the sacred divine, and the everyday secular world. It's meant for various celebrations and offerings to the gods. So accordingly, there are more columns here, more fountains of some sort. But unfortunately, not all of them have survived to this day. Yes, here they are in this condition. By the way, I want to mention that it's November now. And at the very bottom, at the beginning, it was chilly. We arrived at 1:11. We even brought some towels with us. Many people are walking around in jackets and sweaters. But now it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's quite comfortable. Here we have instructions on how to use the audio guide. There are these numbers and we listen to them. This is the main street of Ephesus, which goes up and down, depending on which direction you're walking, so you're constantly moving along it. We're walking. It's made up of these marble slabs. I think that when it rains, it's probably slippery here, but you actually walk with a bit of caution. Ephesus itself is believed to date back to somewhere around the 1st century BC. According to various sources, Either about 250,000 people lived here or 50,000. The numbers vary depending on different historical sources. But the city itself and its decor are truly impressive. Now we're going to go down a little lower, where it will be more. So this is one of the upper fountains. In general, a sewage system was designed and implemented here, so water flowed from above and filled the fountains. Here's an interesting bas-relief that I really liked. This is Nike, the goddess of victory. Along the street stood statues like these of honored people who contributed to the development of the city. And this is the entrance to the upper part of Ephesus. In addition to these Greek lines, there are also fascinating historical accounts about exactly where the line was ultimately defeated and overcome. At the entrance, there are two statues. One of them depicts Heracles with a lion's head. In general, everything here is steeped in Greek mythology and everything related to these gods. Let's take a walk down this street together. It goes beautifully right away. The most beautiful place is the Library of Ephesus. Igor, didn't you notice this kind of marble pavement? Oops, again. Interestingly, the columns are actually constructed from several different materials. Look, of course, be very careful. We're approaching now one of the most beautiful fountains of Ephesus. This ancient stone aqueduct for carrying water is still remarkably well preserved. There are very beautiful bas-reliefs here. There used to be a statue in the middle. Now I'll show you what it looks like. There were various statues here. And at the very bottom there was a sphere. This sphere still remains as a symbol of peace of the earth. So from the main street, if you take a left turn right here, you will be able to reach the historic Roman baths. Just walking along the street, not everyone notices this path. It is quite fascinating to discover that within the ancient Roman baths, the facility was divided into two sections. One part was free of charge, while the other required a fee. If you desired a more relaxing experience and wanted to get a professional massage, you could always find those services available. Here, students. Find the masonry very interesting. There's an arch with the inscription Bank Von. Over there, there's a Roman pool. There were several pools with cold and with hot water. A pool. Now let us transition to one of the most significant examples of the most beautiful buildings in Ephesus. Its grand entrance suggests that this building was either the entrance to a temple or to some significant place. On the left side, residential houses go up the hill. There's a separate entrance here, and it's for a fee. One of the buildings is for officials. It's quite large. You can go inside and walk around. It costs extra and is not included in the museum pass. It's 200 lira. It's worth going in there and taking a walk. We also have another place like this. I recommend that you don't rush and take a look into every corner. There are usually a significantly smaller number of people here, and a much wider variety of stunningly beautiful, extraordinary and unique items to discover. We are now approaching the most stunning and beautiful part of the ancient city of Ephesus, which is the main reason why so many people travel here. This is the library. It has been restored. It's just that earthquakes have certainly played a significant role here. And this is the magnificent stone entrance archway that once led into the heart of the city. Hey, Eldar. Eldar. This fascinating museum is incredibly vast and impressive. We walked through it in about an hour. At the very beginning, they offer you to ride a horse to the top and then walk down, so you don't have to go back and forth. Overall, my parents are quite elderly, and we managed just fine. We made it to the shipyard, and now we're strolling down. There's a trace here from those times. Where is this? Interesting. There's even a little heart. Ah, yes, a heart too. It's as if they wanted to leave a mark as well. Or maybe it's some kind of divine mark? Yeah, probably. Look, there's a little cross. At the very beginning, we come across the Bolshoi Theater, where various religious events used to take place at first, and then, when it appeared, then there were fights with wild beasts and grand public spectacles, so it was slightly remodeled. The only thing is, unfortunately, you are not allowed to go for a walk inside this specific amphitheater. But the theater located just above the one I showed you earlier is a place where you can freely walk around and take many pictures. There is a truly beautiful bas-relief to see there, and the path leading to the amphitheater is quite a large, beautiful alley that features many impressive stone faces along the way. In general, I should mention that there are quite a lot of parking spaces here. It costs 200 lira. As I understand it, that's just the entrance fee, and the time is not limited or restricted. And over there are horses that can take you to the very beginning of Ephesus. And from there you can walk down on foot. We didn't ask how much they cost. Olga Land, yachts, transfers, excursions, group and individual. Everything you were looking for in Turkey. Subscribe.